What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Modulus Stryfe. The Stryfe is reborn, bros. Too long didn't read? Yes, it's a Stryfe reskin with little attachments, but it'll match all of your Modulus attachments and stocks. Let's get into the review. Included is the blaster itself, a 6-round magazine, a barrel attachment, a vertical grip, a few darts, and the instructions. Before the review, bros, I'm super proud to announce the launch of a Coop 772 subscription box. Think Munch Pack or Loot Crate for Nerf blasters, a quarterly subscription box to get foam-flinging tactics sent to your door. I have another video on my second channel further elaborating on this issue if you'd like, link in the description box below. Now to the external overview, starting out with the attachments. Up front, we have a barrel extension that's pretty much like the Ion Fire barrel extension. It's not a male-female, it's just an end cap, so you cannot put on more attachments beyond this one. But it's small enough not to really negatively affect your accuracy, so pretty solid. And down below we have a vertical grip, which isn't new in design, that launched with the Modulus. And when those two attachments are gone, now it's pretty much just a normal Stryfe. And to those externals, of course, it does have an in-strike attachment point, so you can put on any other barrels. Below that's a front tactical rail for a vertical grip or, flashlight. Up top, front sling mount, then to the access door. You can open that up to clear out any jams. Down below to the mag well, the included magazine holds 6 rounds, but of course it's compatible with all in-strike mags. But a little note on that, in my opinion, in my firing report. Reinstallation of the magazine is pretty standard, and the mag release is in the rear. And being centrally located, it's an ambi release, so if you're a lefty, you can also use it. Moving back, the lower trigger here is the rev trigger. Of course, you hold that for a moment to let the flywheel spin up before pulling the primary trigger. This, just like the original Stryfe, is a mechanically operated semi-automatic blaster, as opposed to the electronic operation of the regulator or rapid strike. Interestingly, the trigger pull is a little bit smoother on the Modulus Stryfe compared to the orange or blue Stryfes. I've opened it up and it has the same mechanical design for the trigger action, but the return spring is a little bit lighter in strength. And that lighter spring makes it a little easier to pull the trigger, which makes it a little smoother to operate. It's only a marginal performance boost, and I'm sure most users won't even notice it. Above that is the battery tray. To get in there, you remove the single Phillips screw and remove the battery plate. Then you install 4 AA alkaline batteries and replace the cover plate. Being a flywheel blaster, of course, it doesn't fire or work at all without those batteries installed. To the grip, this is what I would describe as a pretty traditional elite grip. I like the design, and most importantly, it doesn't alienate an adult hand, but it's still also very comfortable for a small hand. And down below, another sling attachment point. Up top, there's an in-strike tactical rail for your optic or whatever, and in the rear, there's a stock attachment point. This blaster does not include a stock again, but it's compatible with all of your in-strike stocks. External overview completed. Operating the Modulus Stryfe is just like operating the normal Stryfe or any other flywheel blaster. You load up the magazine, you have your batteries, you hold down the rev trigger, and you start pew-pewing. A little faster. Here's that. So it's bogged down like crazy right now, and now it's as if the batteries are dead. And we're back. It's probably 30-second break. Okay, I need to explain what happened in my test procedures because I purchased 2 of these Modulus Stryfes, and the same issue occurred with both of them. So I'm confident it's not a true lemon. It happened to both brand new Stryfes with no modification whatsoever. I believe it's the thermistor located in the rear of the blaster that is, by design, shuts down the circuit when it thinks there's too much power introduced. If you use IMRs or trust fires and you've thrown those into a factory blaster, you might be able to shoot off a magazine, but then the circuit shuts down. And that shutdown was identical to the one I experienced with both of these Modulus Stryfes, but I was only running on AA alkaline batteries. But it's a massive bummer that when you start to go fast, and I gotta go fast, bros, the circuit shuts down. It won't let you blow your whole load super fast. Like, bummer. When I review a blaster, I shoot it a few hundred times under a pretty standard testing procedure, and shooting really quickly like that with fast reloads is part of that procedure test. But I encountered this circuit shut off about a dozen times, pretty consistently, and only when I was shooting very quick rate of fire with fast reloads and higher capacity magazines. However, I tried to recreate the circuit shutdown with 6-round magazines, and I was unable to. I had a bunch of 6-round magazines loaded up and fired them very quickly with pretty fast reloads, and just the reload time, just that little pause in between shooting was enough to, I guess, let the thermistor cool or whatever, or vent its energy. Honestly, I don't know how they work. I was only able to cause a circuit shutdown with 12-round magazines or higher, and it happened after 2 or 3 mags were blown. And again, it's only under very fast rate of fire, so my opinion on the operation is a little mixed. If you use the blaster with the equipment that's supplied, which is just a 6-round magazine, it works just fine. And if you aren't an unreasonable shooter like me, I'm trigger happy as then even with the higher capacity magazines, you won't run into a problem. It's just interesting that the normal Stryfe, I've never had this problem, and I have quite a few Stryfes in my shop. I ran the test through all of them because I've never encountered this with any blaster with factory or alkaline batteries. And I wasn't able to recreate it with anything but these two Modulus Stryfes, and I ordered two from Amazon, and both of them had the same issue. I do believe it's the thermistor instead of the motors or any other part of the circuit, because after I modified my other Stryfe, the Modulus Stryfe, it works just fine, running on IMRs. See, watch this. Super long firing analysis because I ran into an issue that was pretty odd, and it's not just a lemon blaster, it happened to both. But besides that little issue, the performance is pretty good out of the Modulus Stryfe. I put it up on the chronograph and I got an average of 72 feet per second, which is a little higher than what I chronoed the original Stryfe at, I believe. But 72 FPS is very close to that 70 FPS par we can expect out of most elite blasters right now. Will the thermistor issue become an issue for you if you're a modder and you clip out the thermistor? Not at all. If you shoot reasonably fast and not just spraying, reloading, spraying, and just constantly spewing out foam, you probably won't even encounter the same issue. But if you don't mod and you spray foam all over the place, that's the only time that might happen to you. Leading me to my conclusion and opinion on the Modulus Stryfe. Overall, I'm stoked that the Modulus Stryfe has been launched. I don't hide the fact that the Nerf Stryfe is my favorite Nerf blaster of all time. And now we have the benefit of a white one that matches all of our Modulus stocks and barrel attachments and all of our other stuff. The orange one didn't match anything at all, and the blue one, unless you had blue attachments, it's harder to match. So now we have another color option out there for a reasonable cost. This one retails for about $30 US, as opposed to the original Stryfe, which retailed for about $20 US, and for that extra $10 you get the barrel attachment and the foregrip, and inflation might be in there because the original Stryfe was launched ages ago. Is it worth the money? You can make that call completely for yourself. Hopefully I provided all the information you need to know whether or not you'd like to purchase the Modulus Stryfe. I do the basic circuit mods on all the blasters I use, so the thermistor issue isn't really a big deal for me personally, but hopefully I described that issue and sort of how it could affect you well enough for you to make that decision for yourself. That concludes the Modulus Stryfe review. It feels so good to say that and not be trolling. This is a real thing. The Stryfe is back, bros. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.